As all hope was lost, the Red Wings down by 2. All they needed was a spark. And after a little bit of adversity, battling back, a Bo Horvat goal to tie things up, it is ultimately Lucas Raymond who seals the deal and gives Detroit the 2 points to get back in the dub column and get back to their winning ways. The Red Wings have just completed a massive comeback against the New York Islanders, and again, just like all the other games, I actually had access to watching this one. I'm not gonna lie though, I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. It was on in the background. I was doing other work whilst the game and its audio was playing, and also there's a Canadiens game going on now too. So, as per usual, I've been balancing a lot of things, but sporadically tuning in, watching, not watching, tuning in, tuning out with this Red Wings game. And honestly, the first few periods of this didn't really give too much insightful Red Wings hockey to bounce back on and to say, hey, look at that, this is what we wanted to see. Mostly because it was Ilya Sorokin showing up to play and making it so that the Wings could not get themselves on the board. The first 2 periods of the game saw no Red Wings goals, and in fact, after like 30 minutes, there still hadn't been a goal, period, that was scored. Both Husso and Sorokin making saves, keeping their teams in it, and we saw a lot of Wings fans getting super frustrated because Detroit was hitting a few posts in there. They just weren't converting, and it wasn't a good sight to see for a team that was already in such a slump, riding that roller coaster down after having that 5-game win streak, after having the big ride to the top of the peak. However, the second period ends off with a pretty bad note, as the Red Wings get themselves a power play. And whilst on this power play, you end up seeing New York Islanders forward Bo Horvat stealing the puck, finding Casey Cizikas, and then having Cizikas go right to the front of the Red Wings net. He makes a beeline down the left wing, gets by Moritz Seider, comes in on goal, and buries it 5-hole on Husso. You saw some people blaming Ville for this one. You saw some people blaming Seider for this one. Hey, what's going on with this Wings team? Why are they allowing shorthanded goals against in tie games with just over a period's worth of time to play? How are you allowing this to happen? Mo Seider, you gotta body down the guy more. Ville Husso, you should be able to make that save. There's blame to go around here to a lot of the Red Wings, but I don't think individually calling out one guy is the most productive thing to do here. Of course, Husso would love to have that one back. He'd been pretty good up to this point, honestly, but this one is kind of a weak one. Cizikas cuts in and he goes over to the opposite side, dangling it by and going 5-hole. You can't be opening up your holes like that, Husso, and I should not be saying it like that. That sounds terrible, my gosh. Either way though, the Red Wings end off the second period down by 1, and things get even worse in the third period. Because a Noah Dobson slapper gets by Ville Husso just a few minutes in. They thought initially it was chipped in by Brock Nelson, but there were some other reviews done and they ended up ruling it as Noah Dobson's goal. So the Islanders took quick control of this game after having near 40 minutes of play without a single goal. All of a sudden it's 1 minute into the third and they're up 2-0. So good on them. The Red Wings fans are all doom and gloom once again. If you are scrolling through the Wings subreddit, you would have seen all the pessimism up in here. And Wings fans were just looking for a spark. That's it. That's all they needed. One guy to go out there and just make a move, make something happen, prove that Ilya Sorokin is human, and that is what Daniel Sprong goes out there and does. At the 12:05 minute mark left in the third period, Sprong drags it around Sebastian Aho. No, not the one in Carolina, the defenseman Sebastian Aho. Drags it around Aho and fires it short side on Sorokin. 2-1 New York. That lead is cut in half. Then you have just a minute 40 later. It's the Red Wings who score again. Jake Wallman ends up taking a long shot. It gets through everybody. Video review then reveals that it actually went in off of the glove of Oliver Wahlstrom. And the Wings, hey, they just need a minute 40 to tie this game. It's all up here 2-2, but they don't let up. because JT Compher ends up scoring right after on one of the most brilliant plays we have seen from Mo Seider this year. You know how we talked about how he let the Casey Cizikas goal go right by him? Yeah, he kind of bodied Cizikas a bit, but Cizikas had no problems just going around Mo. Well, Seider makes up for that in this third period. He got an assist on the Wallman goal, and then he makes a brilliant play to Compher. He has the puck at the blue line, notices Compher going around the net, and Seider, instead of throwing one towards the goal, he throws one towards the side of the goal. A perfect pass for JT Compher, who finds himself on the far back door post. And Sorokin is too far out of his crease. He's not able to get back and stop Compher in time. The entire Islanders team is focused on Seider. He draws everybody's attention to him, which makes JT Compher's job so much easier as Seider rips the pass right to the goal mouth for Compher to put it in. A beautiful play, 3-2 Detroit. All it took for them was, what was that? 4 minutes to go from down 2-0 in a doomer mindset type of game to up 3-2? The game did not end there, though. The Islanders had themselves a few opportunities where they tried to put the pressure on. You saw them take the timeout. You saw them go into power play shortly after. And this is where you start to talk about the refs because, hey, David Perron's stick was on the guy, but was that really that bad of a trip? Maybe it was a little bit of a dive. I'm not too sure. Sebastian Aho, though, of course, he's the guy that got dangled his pants off by the Sprong goal, so him drawing a penalty for his team probably makes up for that. And it makes up even more on the score sheet as Matthew Barzal throws the puck into the middle for Bo Horvat to throw a one-timer on goal short side and tie this game up at 3. There are 4 minutes to go in this hockey game, and Bo Horvat puts a goal up on the board that I personally have seen him score hundreds of times here in Vancouver. That is the Bo Horvat play. He is in that bumper spot. The guy on the left flank sends a slow pass into the middle, and Bo just rips it on goal. Normally, that pass comes from JT Miller. Sometimes it comes from Quinn Hughes. Today, though, it comes from Matthew Barzal. Horvat ties the game up at 3 apiece, and then we go over to overtime. And this is where things get crazy because the Wings, they had themselves a show. Sorokin robs DeBrincat on the doorstep in overtime, but there's no biggie because the Red Wings get it back. Raymond over to Compher, he rips one and it goes off the crossbar. Raymond then gets the puck once more, sends it over to Compher, and then he goes back to Lucas Raymond, who puts it in the back of the cage. 4-3, final score here for the Wings. Raymond with his 3rd goal on the season. Compher getting the assist on that. Compher with a 2-point night. Good for him to see those points racking up. Seider with 2 points here. This is what the Red Wings needed. A game where they clawed back, they fought against adversity, and guess what? You got this result without any points from Larkin or DeBrincat. Not that it's a good thing that they're not scoring points, but it's a good thing that the Red Wings are proving to themselves, proving to the team, proving to the fans that they can win hockey games without DeBrincat and Larkin doing all the heavy lifting. Sure, Raymond is on that first line too, and he got the overtime winner here, but he wasn't playing with Larkin and DeBrincat. He was playing with Compher. This was a little bit of a different flavor for the Wings in terms of their wins, and this is a much-needed change of fate for Detroit. Coming back, battling back from down 2-0, winning 3-2, getting the game tied again, yet rebounding to respond in overtime. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to Ville Husso, I thought he was You know, he made the saves early on. I definitely don't want to discredit Husso and the save percentage he was able to get in this game. He stopped 36 of 39 shots, a .923 save percentage. But honestly, I feel like the way his positioning was, I just felt really anxious for a lot of these shots. Even if he made the save, even if he got it in the glove, I was just like, oh, his positioning was way off there. I don't know, maybe it was just me. But I personally was a little spooked out by Husso and his positional movement in this game. I felt like Sorokin was the better goaltender in terms of just visually how they looked when they made the saves. But either way, the Red Wings come away with the win. They beat that Sorokin 4 times. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Red Wings beating the Isles 4-3 in overtime. Lucas Raymond with the game winner. I hope you enjoyed this video. 99 and bye.